Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Jaggleby. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, Sam Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chin. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Ordinals the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be absolutely amazing, guys, because today we don't have Jaggleby, but we have a YouTube legend. We have Crypto Slow. I've been following this guy for over 5 years, right? And I reached out to him. I said, hey, man, would you mind helping me out? Jump on the show with me. He said, hell yeah, let's do it. I have him today. He's really big into DeFi. I mean, I learned so much from his DeFi videos over the course of 2021. I felt like I was getting really good, and then 2022 got punched in the face just like everyone else. So I'm going to get his perspective on what's going on and kind of if he's still in DeFi and what he's thinking about, and kind of his perspective on a lot of different things. Being somebody who's been in the space for a long time, it's really awesome to be able to talk to someone like him and kind of pick his brain, because a lot of times, maybe, the cycles don't, completely follow each other, but they definitely rhyme. There's definitely pieces that we can take from every single cycle, and that could kind of guide us for what we're about to see this year, potentially a little bit of next year. I'm thinking next May will be the top. Could be wrong, but I'm thinking we're kind of following that 2016 halving, right? Where it really peaked in January of 2018, and then fell all the way down the toilet after that. I'm thinking we have this extended bull market that might actually even pass what we did in 2018, maybe go to that May. But we will see. But let's kind of get along with our show here. Bitcoin sitting at 95,631. Guys, I'm telling you for weeks, it's Bitcoin is following gold. Bitcoin is following the M2 money supply. I'm excited. So let's get this show started. Bring in my co-host for today. We got Crypto Slow. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, man. So let's kind of dig a little bit into you, man. Like I said, I've been following you for a long time. I'm just curious of maybe let the audience know who you are and what you're into.
Man, it's a long story. I should almost send you to my video.
Uh-oh. I think you froze out. Did you freeze out?
Yeah.
What'd you say? There you go. You're back. All right. You froze for a second, but you're back now.
Yeah, I was trying to adjust some of my settings to like slow stuff down. But yeah, I've been in since 17. Was introduced to crypto through BitConnect. And
Ooh.
I lost $10,000. I thought I was making money, and then that was followed by a HIAP that
Yeah.
stole $500 million in 1 week, and I
Ooh.
lost about 30 Litecoins at $400 a piece.
Oh my
So
God.
that was my introduction to crypto, was getting wrecked like for tax. But I always tell people, if there is specific write-off things in
Yeah.
your taxes, especially if it's a complete rug, then it's a fraud, it's a scam, and you get nice write-offs on that. And don't overlook that when you do your taxes to balance
Yeah.
out. And you get carryovers too on losses that you can just keep cashing in, as. But so then things started to go, and then we started messing with Tron, and then
Ooh.
I was in dire straits, so I bought 1080 the 1080 Ti Strix. I went, maxed out my credit cards, built 1080 Ti rigs, and started mining Ravencoin. So, and then Bruce, Fenton was supposed to be, and like all this hype, and Ravencoin early days, if you were there, like it was like a Bitcoin fork. It was supposed to tokenize the world. Oh shoot, we're out again.
I hear you. You're good.
Yeah,
Your still,
we're
audio's
supposed
still
to.
there.
That's cool. That's cool. It's smart. It knows. It's because this thing is on Wi-Fi. I should have plugged it in.
Okay.
And maybe I'll take a break on part of the stream and move the cord. So I mined about $60,000-$70,000 in Ravencoin, and that was back when you can mine with the 1080s and make decent money. And then from there, started getting in all the Tron dApps, as you call them, and then finally, kind of got to the end of that bull run, and Bitcoin got up to 20,000 and then crashed, and then then we had the big bear market, but it was very different. That bear market, everyone was building, and the TVL and liquidity came in, and we just happened to be aligned with the whole DeFi narrative. But we had drip paying people $10,000 a day. I was making like $2,000 a day on it
Woo.
for like all summer. Yeah, it was insane. Then the DeFi stuff was 100,000% rates, and all the forks and the seigniorage projects, 99% of them failed. But just everyone was building, and basically I made life-changing gains on BNB. I got in at about $40, and
Woo.
I did the money glitch, the Michael Saylor, where I kept depositing in Venus, and then borrow stable, buy more BNB, deposit it, and looping, like the early days of looping, which was absolutely idiotic. I mean, I think I had 2,000 at one point, and then then that was when you didn't know that the bull was walking away. So then they kept pushing the DeFi summer, kept
Yeah.
pushing the farms. And the funny thing was, I had 10,000 Pancake Swap at $1, and I bought and sold it $1 million. All I would have had to do was hold Pancake, and I wouldn't even be here on this show today. There's a Lambo here in Columbus, Ohio, that has Pancake on the back, and I was like, Pancake made people super rich. So then I bought $400,000 worth of cake at $40.
Mm.
And it was my worst trade I've ever made in my entire life. I
That
lost.
was the top, right?
That was the gig. That's what I said in 21 moving into 22. Didn't know that the bull was quietly walking away, because everyone's just like how everyone is like saying tokenization, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Tokenization's a great idea. The problem is it's illegal. It's legal. They don't want you to be able to transfer the title of your motorcycle in 10 seconds to somebody else.
Yeah.
So tokenization, I believe, is a great narrative. But if anything I've learned through, this is my third cycle, is you don't know what the narrative will be. The 10,000 Xers are the unlikely candidates that you don't expect.
Yeah.
And you know, along the way, there's been tons of opportunity. But anyways, that cake example was a great thing. I just used the last of my cake carryover losses from that far away, the 140 grand that I lost. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't have bought that much cake unless, you know, it still sucked. But
Yeah.
so then it kind of disappeared. And then it kind of felt like, because of the information, now everyone's on Telegram, now everyone's on Discord, now everyone's grinding, farming. And I go back to this, the arbitrage loops keep getting more and more closed for making insane wealth. Because of information efficiency. Like in 21, it didn't matter what you bought, it went up. And I think that's what everyone thought. They were trading experts. And I follow a couple traders. I'm not a trader because trading is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Lucky Apes Trading is one of my favorites. The guy makes money up or down, and he doesn't use crazy leverage. He's actually has a dry trading system that you can trade dry on just for fun, and set your leverage and stuff, just to practice. But I don't really trade. So, but yeah, then taking that back into where we're at now, a coin launches, you have 5 seconds. I mean, look at the Trump coin. The dude was having a Trump crypto convention and launched the coin stealth while the people, it reminded me of like the King's days. They're all eating the hog, and then their army's getting slaughtered outside. Like all those people in that fancy gala, and then you're stealth launching the coin of the people that should be buying it. Was the real intent of that to get as many of the scammer and Coles out of the possibility of getting? Of course, Nick got a position, you know.
Yeah,
Nick is Nick. Nick is Nick. Like he's got, yeah, he's rich, so you know he's always got. You know, you don't know where that guy's gonna be, but yeah, and then pump, and you know, I'll admit I did not do the trenches. I'm not sitting and grinding.
Yeah.
Like I'm out walking my dog, enjoying life, and you know, and okay, so bringing us back to today, because I'm rambling on at this point. You know, we started to have this conversation early, and that is, if someone like some things, reflections from this. Number one, liquidity is king. Number two, Bitcoin is king. And because especially back to the liquidity, we've seen how, like, look at Peanut, goes to 2 billion, retracts back like to 100. It doesn't even seem possible, right? Just because you break a billy now does not mean your project will sustain. And that's a really important lesson. It isn't forever, and you need to take profits. And if your buddy is sending you a screenshot, just sell. Just tell him to sell. Just tell him to sell. It's a joke. It's a running joke. But you know,
so true.
I had a stock. I had a stock like that, and it was Exodus Wallet. I've been in since the IPO. It's been down since. Well, it got listed on New York Stock Exchange. Well, it was still in the previous year, so I didn't want to sell it. It was being market make pumped, and it went to $110 a share from 20.
Wow.
In 2 days. And then I was like, I didn't want to sell it because it was on last year's taxes, right? I was like, I'll just sell at the beginning of the year. I'm sending my buddy a screenshot. Boom, crashes down to 25.
Oh, man.
Dude, I was just like, was that my out? Was that my one chance? Like, and that goes back to why you scale out. Sell 10%. It scales up, sell 10%. Because it's hard to time a big top, and we're definitely in a trader's market. But with that being said, I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. I think we're going to see a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 candle building as states get it And
Yeah.
and really, and back to the BTC is king. That's a very important point, because if I look at my BTC portfolio value, it is down. It is down, right? DeFi summer is
Yeah.
when I had the most access to Bitcoin. And as these years progress, it just slowly munches your portfolio away. And we have this extreme dominance. I'm not saying that alts aren't going to have their day. There are definitely certain alts that are going to have their day. It's just that this whole concept of everything up, that I don't think that meta really exists anymore. And then the final meta is just be involved, because you don't know what the meta is. And it's easy, especially at a time like right now, you get ground down and you're just like, screw this, I'm not mining anything else. I'm not clicking on emails and following Billy Joe, Jim Bob, Sue, and just like, and then you get 2 coins.
Yeah.
I saw the Magic Eden. I don't know how you did on the Magic Eden drop, on the second drop.
The second one, oh, I did
Yeah.
amazing. I did
Did you?
amazing on
Now
on
see,
all of them.
I think some people just had a bad algorithm or something, because some people are like, I staked for 5,000 days and I got like 2 coins or something. You know how it's exaggeration. I don't know. But then they could have been busted doing scammy things with their wallets, you know.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows?
Well, for me, like, I originally got like 15,000 ME. I
Yeah.
sold 14,000. I staked 1,000 for the
Nice.
max, whatever I can
Oh,
do. So
that was smart.
yeah, yeah.
And
So I was
I did the same thing. I sold the
did
top.
you?
I sold the top on it, and I didn't stake. Well, no. I did stake a little bag, but then
Yeah,
I didn't max stake it. I thought I could stake into the drop, and then they carried it
gotcha.
on for a really long time. So
So I staked the 1,000, and in February they gave me 4,000 more tokens for staking the 1,000. And then recently I just got another 1,988 coins, like 2,000 more coins. So I just keep getting free coins.
whoa,
Like I'm very happy. I love Magic Eden.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah. So I mean, I had I had a lot of people also, like, just kind of catching up. I had a lot of people say, you know, they were like, "Where have you been, Slow?" And it's like, I've been here. I've been in my Telegram. I mean, if you want more access
Yeah,
to me, you jump in my Telegram. I just kind of like, I'm not going to sit and talk about stuff. I have always been on the forefront of trying to find interesting projects, and I'm actually getting in them. And people don't realize, like, I work my full-time job, and then I'm like 40 to 50 hours a week in crypto. So I do 90-hour weeks. I've been
yeah,
doing that since 17. Now, and is it worth it? It's a different kind of trench, because it calls your attention. Monitoring channels, monitoring for new things, trying to filter
yeah,
out scams. I mean, people, like, I say it's crypto, you could do a graph and do levels. You got your Coinbasers that just have the auto buy on, and then then they don't even pay attention to it. And then you got to start to get in. Then you get in the communication groups, you know, and it just goes on and on. But and then I had my whole health issue with my eye. I detached my retina twice, and that was pretty, like, devastating to my
yeah,
whole mojo. Um, but I'm back and I'm healthy. I'm at the gym, and my channel, I started about 6 months after Crypto Wendy, BitBoy, and all those. So I missed that first wave of Coles, of the OG Coles.
yeah,
And, I thought I'd be at 100K by now. But like I said, I don't stream and I don't do shorts. And those really are the preferred format, because for me, because I work full time,
yeah.
I'll make content. That's the whole concept of the gym vlog that I did back in the day. I kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
started the whole car vlog. People are like, I don't know how to drive. You're like, you can't. I can drive and talk. Like, I sit and mumble to myself all the time. My wife thinks I'm crazy. So
I remember you were
it
doing that all the time. Then BitBoy
I
started
love it.
doing it.
Yeah, I get my
Yeah,
Starbucks, and that's because crypto was freaking interesting.
yeah,
Now it's almost like a neural network where all the possibilities have been calculated, and people just don't ape in like they used to. I mean,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous back in the day. We had 1 hour ROI dApps. 1 hour. I mean, you want to talk about max trenching, man. Like if you don't get it, I remember this one I got in, it was one of the 1 hour ROIs. I was the next person to get paid. It would have been like 10G, and then the whole thing 404 and just shut
Oh
down. Just
man, the
yeah,
website
yeah.
shut down.
Yeah, oh yeah, just
Wow.
classic 404, and and like crypto to me, like my Ethereum tutorials, like how to cancel a transaction, how to do this.
Yep. Yep.
That was like the rails of crypto. Like, and now everyone knows how to do it. So it's just
Yeah.
like, for me, now I'm not going to say, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you never know. You wake up tomorrow, you get a $10,000 airdrop. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Like
Not as
it,
much as I'd like it
not
to.
as much as it used to. But I'm
Yeah.
saying you have to like, that's why you have to still be like, you have to do a little grinding. And if your buddy shows you something more than 2 or 3 times, give it more attention. A single, you're just like, yeah, that's interesting, but I'm not bridging over to Sui or whatever bullshit chain they got going on, or Sonic. I had
Yeah.
my Sonic bridged over for about 2 days, and I'm like, screw this shit. I bridged it right back to BNB because BNB's been the champ. Up down, up down, up down. BNB is just like, it's chilling between 500 and 600, and it's just like, at least I'm not losing money.
Yeah.
Um,
But BNP's kind of been like, it seems like it's very centralized. It seems like they
It
do
doesn't
keep the
matter.
price
It
up.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's the integrity of the network. I mean,
Yeah.
we can say our bank accounts, our bankers are centralized. I mean,
Well,
I don't think people care. Now the whole
yeah.
wrecked clone thing with the images disappearing, not paying their web server,
Yeah.
that's kind of silly. Like, but I mean, back to ordinals. Ordinals, really, in my opinion, ordinal art is really the holy grail at this point in technology in the world,
Yeah.
because with an ordinal, you can create something that cannot be destructed,
Yeah.
and
100%.
that's finite. Like, um it's just dilution, because the scammers have their Python and they loop, and they launch 10,000 stupid projects, and it's just like, but there is great projects out there, and people are
Yeah.
still building. It's just, we're really suffering, especially in the Bitcoin community, from just, um, fragmentation of liquidity. That's
Yeah.
really the problem. We have Merlin, we have build on Bitcoin using ICP. I don't even understand it. Like there's just a million solutions, and the airdrop. I mean, don't get me wrong, Merlin. Shout out to you, Merlin, because I sold on day one. That was a nice sell. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
That was the airdrop of the year for me, man. Like, that
The
was a
Merlin
good
one. Yeah.
yeah, that Merlin one was fantastic. And
I
again, I
still
think it's real,
hold all my Merlin.
dude,
Still. Oh man. Still
and
love it all.
under the right, like, you don't know, because
Yeah.
it's just this whole thing of moving the liquidity. I mean, I've seen it a million times. Like, it went from ETH to Tron to
Yeah.
BNB, and then it started going on the stupid L2s that launch at 5 billion valuation, and it does nothing. $5 billion, and it does nothing. Like, and there's like, it's all, and then they're like, we're building an ecosystem, and they always show, like, it's almost like your hexagons in the background of your picture, but each one of those is like a stamped ecosystem member. And I'm like, what? There's 1,000 ecosystem members on this chain, and I'm like, dude, I've not used a single one of these products. Like,
Yeah.
and it's silly. But L2s, and there's a lot of buzz with Ethereum getting attacked by Charles. If you watched his video, saying
Yeah, what
that,
was up with that? Like, have you
I
used
think
Cardano? Like,
he's
Cardano's.
basically saying, now, with that being said, I
Yeah.
know you got Zen, you got X1 coming out.
Excited for
It
that.
it
I know you're a big
if
Zen guy.
people trust me, if people, it like X1, my biggest complaint about Zen, I'm bullish
Yeah.
on Zen. My biggest complaint about Zen is he shouldn't have created all those other. It's fine that
I
he
know.
launched on chains because he's putting a stamp. But what people don't realize, what Jack was doing, this guy's like genius level. He's testing every single blockchain to find where it's fault tolerant. That's all he was doing. And
Yeah.
then building the brand and building the brand, building the network. And then doing a post-mortem analysis on what was the bottlenecks in that chain. Do that on 13 or 14 chains, and then
Yeah.
you come up with the ultimate blockchain.
Well, he started building a Phantom fork when Phantom was using the DAG, and now obviously they're now
Yes.
Sonic, and they're using kind of like an EVM, more of an EVM blockchain model. And but
Right.
then Jack's now decided to fork Solana, and
Uh-huh.
using the SVM model,
Uh-huh.
which is something I don't even know if he launched Zen on Solana. Did he?
There's a meme coin, Zolana. See,
Okay.
it's just what the problem is. This is one of the theories that's hard to understand.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is amazing because it has a huge network, but it's possible. This is what happens. It's possible to have zombie networks where
Yeah.
how people try to give value to a network, to the X number of members, but if the members are dead asses, you have a dead network. You have a network of zombies, right? Just like the
Yeah.
Phantom chains that maybe they have 100,000 hodlers, but they're not doing anything. There's no velocity of money, and that's a really important concept that people have to understand with contracts, especially smart contracts. If the volume subsides, there has to be a flywheel.
Yeah.
If the volume subsides, it will go dead. It will go dead, and it's possible. So it's like with Zen, it's distributed. Obviously, we know the only chain that has value, this is controversial, is ETH. Like, because that's just because of the gas prices. All the other chains are illiquid liquidity, and they're probably going to get burnt in the burn party. Now, what I do have a problem with, why Zen's been running 1,000 days, number one. Number two, the incredibly low gas. I've been minting Centurions for 0.4, which is $15. So if you paid $1,200 for a Centurion, it only makes sense to spend 1,000 and mint another 300 billion coins with $1,000. You can make
You're still minting Zen
300.
right now?
Oh, absolutely. I minted like
Wow.
250 Centurions last weekend.
Wow.
Like, I might as well go for 1%, right? I'm in deep, bro. I'm like, they lowered me down on a crane, and I have no choice but to keep minting because I have to DCA those horrible $1,200. So, but anyways, Zen's been running 1,000 days. Now you're gonna tell me I'm gonna sacrifice into an inflation of part two? I don't know.
Is that what's going on next? Is that I haven't really been keeping up
Yes.
with it. So I know he's launching X1. It's going to be on like a Solana fork. So what's the next thing that has happened? So I'm gonna have to burn. I'm sitting on like a bunch of Zen. I'm gonna have to burn the Zen and kind of
No. You
and
don't
then get
have to do
X1.
anything. What did
But to get that,
Richard Hart tell you to do with your hex? Sacrifice it. Then you got wrecked. I made a video on that. And I said I will not be in the hex sacrifice because it makes no sense that I go through all the inflation. I've been in Zen 1,000 days, and now you want me to just burn it to get a new coin that's starting an inflation all over again, and the miners are just going to dump it initially. I understand he's marketing in Silicon Valley and stuff, but and I love Jack. I've been a supporter the whole time, except for the multiple side coins. That's just silliness. And not everybody can afford to take those hits, you know? Like, oh, I minted VPMX and I got wrecked, like, and
that's me.
so, but anyways, it like don't even talk to me because I got Freaking Ordinals.
But like,
They'll go back up. They'll go back up. But anyways, it doesn't
this is
make
the Zen
sense.
chart though.
And
Like,
any time, hold on a second. Anytime you can't. If you go out more than 3 months, you'll have the Jack Levin chart. Go to weeks. Like zoom out.
yeah.
It's the only crypto that shows minus 100%.
Oh my god.
and it's still got liquidity. It's still got like a mil in liquidity.
Who's adding liquidity to this? That's what I want to know.
It's not. It's just it's so beaten down.
Yeah.
It's so beaten down. I mean, it like, dude, the tiniest bump. I had like couple 100 billion liquid, and you see that pump back there, that first pump,
This one right here.
that one
Yeah.
I was sending screenshots to my buddy. My bag was worth $100,000, and here's the thing, that was only a small portion of my Zen. And then
because it's all you're waiting for them.
Like, sell it all, dude. Somebody sold it all.
Yeah.
But that little spike
Yeah.
took a couple $100 bill to like 100G. So like, here's the thing, and this is just like Hex. How many people out there had a bag of Hex and they fumbled it?
Yeah.
They had millions. I had like 20 million Hex. That would have been $10 million.
Oh my
Like,
god.
yeah. So that's an important lesson. It took 3 years for Hex to moon, and it will probably not be like that model will not. It was people tried to replicate it. It won't happen again. It won't happen again because the investor's too savvy. So with Zen, the only way I see it is you have to simply outpace inflation.
Yeah.
And the problem is the low gas is causing another spike in inflation. We're going on year 4. It really takes about 5 or 6 years. But here's
what. Are we really going to year 4 of Zen?
1,000 days.
Wow. Yeah.
1,000 days.
Because I was in Zen day 1. I got in. I'm in it day 1 because I heard Jack.
Oh, and if you would have did a one, like I said, it never happens twice. If you would have did 1 day's dog, those were selling for 10G a clip.
I know.
10G a clip for 1 day. For 1 day mint. Oh, dude.
I maxed minute, bro. I maxed minute the whole time.
But see, here's back to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is like the Hex part 2 opportunity. If you can mint 3 billion coins for $15, it's just quite irresponsible if you're not filling your queue and have a couple 100 billion. There's no excuse that you don't have a couple 100 billions in and you just let it sit. Because the tiniest bump in market cap, it's absolutely insane.
What is the market cap on this?
Like 9 million or 8 million.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I could start a rug coin instantly and get to like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Now it could go to 0, but at this point, I'll just keep minting. I'll take a tax
write-off. All-time low, right? This is
it is. It's hit all-time lows multiple times in the last week or 2. It's horrible.
So what are we at here?
It's the worst performing. Now wait. Now the flip side is if you go to Jack's tweets, he's like Zen holding strong, burning gas, 180,000 holders. And we're like, dude, I know. But see, it's almost like 180,000 people, but it's a dead network. If every one of those 180,000 people bought $10 worth of Zen, shit, it'd be like 10, we'd all be rich. It just can only a few people can cash out.
It depends on the liquidity.
That is my concept with Zen, and that is island money, baby. Island money. Because if this gets to $1 billion market cap, like somehow ridiculously, dude, I'll have like 50 or $100 million. Like, I'm not like, so it's like, it's at this point, it's a big gamble, but we'll see. It's another blockchain, another fragmentation.
What happens when X1 comes out? Like, so let's just say X1 comes out, and then you got
the farms come out.
Okay, you have everything all happening on X1. Then you're gonna bridge in all this Zen into X1. Is that the game plan? Is that what kind of Jack's doing?
I mean, it kind of sounds like what Zenify did, which Zenify, I hope I never run into that fucker in an alley. Rugger fuckers.
They all
So,
kind of rugged, right? I mean,
yeah.
I was in a
You
whole
know what
bunch of
though?
Zen
You know what
earning.
though? I'm still selling on Web3 on the I'm still selling because I told everybody, especially the people in my
Yeah.
group, dude, I pulled in like 40, 50 G on the Zenify airdrop, and I'm still getting paid. I was making 2,000 a day on that. Like
Oh
I
man.
didn't even get in Zenify. I just took the
Yeah.
airdrop because he was an idiot. The dude gave way too much economic advantage to the airdrop. And you know what I was doing every single day? I just take my 10,000 in BNB and I would just flip it between
Yeah.
USDC and USDT. And I'd do like 6 or 7 transactions, build about 50 or 100K in volume. I was tracking in a spreadsheet. And then I was just like, it cost me $50, $100.
Yeah.
And then I would pay the fees. And then, that was a killer airdrop. But the product, I loved it. I love being able to go over there, especially that you could get Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You
We
could bridge.
have a comment against you real quick. The guy says, Teddy Bear says, wait, how did PLS sack get wrecked? We sacked at 40 cents and got 1-to-1 value at launch. It was glorious from their yield farming and profit. What do you say to that?
Okay, what do I say to that? Obviously, it. I mean, I was in P drip. I mean, it paid. But I was in the pre-sale though. So what are you gonna do? Like, but no. Certainly, if you were active on Pulse
Yeah.
and the ecosystem and farms, you made money. I don't disagree with that. I don't have anything against Richard Hurt. I mean, I'm kicking myself that I fumbled my hex bag. But what I did know was, it's kind of like Animal Farm with 4X
Okay.
Shark, and he rugged everybody. The alpha was just to sell in the pre-farm before Animal Farm launched. Because I know several people that sold for over $1 million. So basically he did a farming event where everyone farmed, but everyone didn't know until late that you had to, whatever the farms turned off, you got that as an allocation in Animal Farm. And then Animal Farm was just Animal Farm did pay initially, but then they got all stupid. You get 5% of your dogs and you buy a cat, and I'm just like, nah, dude, I'm out. That's too complicated. But and then then he dragged everyone along for 9 million years. But yeah, definitely if you're a trader and active in Pulse Chain, and some of the memes people made. I mean, if you sold PDI, I know there's people with 6-figure bags before it rugged. Or the key, the maker, the maker exploit that was exploited by somebody, which person does not know. But some people are still like PDI to $1. So I'm just like, but it's great hope. I mean, I have a bag of Pulse because once again, I think I have like $1 billion or something. It's irresponsible not to. Because it could 10,000x. You don't know, and that's an important lesson. Like, I know a lot of people hate on him, but Trey Trevon is smart because that dude almost never sells.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a bag of everything, but he's very modest with that.
He
But
doesn't do videos no more, does he?
What's that?
He doesn't do videos anymore, does he?
He's members only.
Oh, okay. Are
A
you
lot
a
of the smaller YouTubers have switched to members only. That way you can get a little more loose on your TOS, and obviously YouTube revenue this cycle. I mean, in DeFi summer, I was pulling in several thousand a month, and compared to now, it's just like He
hasn't done a. He used to do live. I remember listening to his lives. Last year.
Once again, the dude's been in it since 16 or 17, grinding. It's like, it's got to be interesting to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a member. I didn't realize.
You're paying $20 a month.
Am I paying $20 a month?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't realize that.
The wife's
Oops.
like, "Hey, we get Chipotle." No. But
I gotta take
no, like,
advantage of
and
that.
you know, in
Yeah.
all the things, I will tell you, I've known Trevon for a long time, and I know he
Well, I
caught a
mean, you
lot of,
guys are both in BitConnect,
yeah. Well,
right?
except I had a screenshot once. He had 7,000 referrals under him.
Oh my god, on
So
BitConnect. So he
7,000,
wrecked
bro,
7,000
bro, bro,
people.
bro, bro. He was probably making, not gonna lie, he was probably making a Bitcoin or two a day for doing.
And
And
that
then
was back when Bitcoin was like $800, right?
well, you know what's funny? I have a deposit video of me depositing my money that I never published. It's
Oh
embarrassing.
man.
I made this video. I was like, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, dude, what happened actually was I was already in BitConnect, right? I had like a grand or two in there.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin started to crash, right? I don't know if that
Mm,
was 19 or what. So
gotcha.
I made an emergency deposit of all of my bags into BitConnect.
Oh man.
Dude, I know. Well, like I said, I told you the crazy story. Then I go and max out and spent like
Yeah.
15,000 on 1080 Ti's on my credit card. Like, the wife was just like, "You just lost that, and then you're gonna go to Micro Center and
I
buy
gotta make it all back. I gotta make it all back.
make it all back, man." I'm rage mining, and it was funny. Another funny story about rage mining was after Raven got played out,
Yeah.
right? Because Raven was a great experiment because if you were along for the way, you would find out how people always try to exploit the algorithm, like to get an unfair share. Like people work very hard to beat the system. That's always been that way in crypto. Like they'll walk you won't walk a mile to pick up $20, but you'll walk 5 miles to take it all. Like and that's what, like, they kept having different, because like you try to find the ultimate, oh, it's ASIC resistant. No, it's not. They just need better software. Like then you get, so then it's they always figure it out. They always
Yeah.
figure it out. But yeah, that was a but oh, so then after Raven died, people started forking. There was a homeless coin. Like the dude was selling bags and then showing him making sandwiches to get, like, I'm not lying. And then there was a pet one. I still have like 2 or 3 trillion of this pet one,
Yeah.
based off the original X16. But I thought, yeah, they had homeless coin. So basically, in Bitcoin talk, they drop a new shit coin. Then it would be CC Miner who would be the first to get the algorithm update with the new algorithm, and then you'd boot it into your system. I'd walk into my office, shit's like 9,900 degrees. Like if I came in here and I felt coolness, they're offline. What's going on? Because the temperature
Yeah.
in the room, like you could instantly tell if your bags are off, right? Like because
Yeah.
the friggin' miners are so obnoxiously hot. Just like blowing.
Were they loud as well? Because I know like a lot of miners have a lot of sound
The
to them. I don't know
1080
about the Raven coin though.
Ti's were not. They
Okay.
weren't like, they weren't that loud. It's not
They
like an
probably sound
ASIC.
like a Microsoft computer, right? Like the
Yeah,
fans
not like.
going.
I mean, I'm used to fans. Like
Yeah.
I have 8.1 surround in my office, and I've got you on a sound bar. Your song came in and blew me out. Like,
Oh
like
shit. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I got tunes everywhere. So but anyways, so yeah, let's that is a long history. Good gosh, that was
It was
long.
fun though,
40
man. I
minutes.
enjoyed it.
But
Got a
yeah,
comment here.
yeah,
Future
yeah.
forward says
I'm
here since
still here.
20.
I'm still grinding. I got my eyes open. So, we're all trying to make it out here. don't
Uh,
just don't quit your job just yet.
I quit my job last May, and then the bear market hit.
But you know
So
what?
it's not good.
You know what though? I can tell you're grinding. I can tell you're grinding. It's
I mean,
hard to
so
do what you do. Like,
yeah,
there's a reason why I don't do paid promos, is
yeah,
because it interferes with my work and home life. Because
yeah,
I work to my schedule. If I feel like making a video, I'll make a video. And
yeah.
that's to
I have
stream
to make
every day is
this.
difficult. It's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
well, the thing is, so these ain't really paid promos. We're actually we're on these as advisors, right? Like, so we come on these teams as advisors, and we have weekly
Oh, no,
meetings
no,
with
no.
them
I
and
didn't
stuff like
mean it.
that.
I didn't mean
No, no,
it.
no. I'm
No,
just
no,
kind of
no.
explaining it,
Chill,
and
show
then,
away, show away. You
but
get
that
paid.
this is the reason why they hire us
Yeah.
instead of someone else,
Well,
because they get this stuff.
my thing about paid is has nothing to do with the pay or the shill.
Yeah,
It's it is it is that I don't want to be told when I'm making a video. That's really the root of it. Because
yeah.
if the person's paying me, then they're like, "Where's that video at?" I'm like, "Well, I don't feel like fucking making it, or I just haven't had the time." You know? So like to
Well,
me, because don't ever look that, like, factor that in when you take a deal. You find a good product, you want to sponsor it, which I've done that with through referral links,
yeah.
like Lolly. Lolly is great. If you don't have Lolly, install Lolly. It is a like horseshoe up in your corner in your Chrome apps, and when you go to almost 90% of the websites, it'll say click here to activate. You get Bitcoin refund.
Oh wow.
No bullshit. No bullshit. Like, and you know what? That'd be a great theme for a show, would be tools and utilities around Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a
like
lot, dude.
do a little
There's
sector.
tons, you know.
But yeah,
Like,
so Lolly pays, and you get referrals from your friends too. You get Bitcoin. So it's not like it's you're not going to get rich off of it.
yeah,
But like, let's say you bought some stuff, even vacations, VRBO,
yeah.
um, whatever, they pay you, they pay you back. So that's a great product. But that would be like, I did a video on that. I'm like, I use this. I'm shilling it. Like, this is it, for sure. But I support you 100%, man. I'll send
Yeah.
you like $5 in the chat so you can get a hamburger.
Thanks, bro.
Hey,
Keeping the
didn't
lights on.
In-N-Out run 1 million burgers for $1 a piece until they were sold out? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Kai Effect says, "Sound good, slow." I guess he's a follower of yours, man. Aaron Cardat, dude. We started talking about Pulse and stuff. We got like a bunch of people coming in. People here, the Pulse Chain Hex guys, man. They are in here. Aaron says Trayvon coin is called No Diddy. Yeah, I guess Trayvon has a coin. Future Forward says, problem is that, okay, he has two comments. I'll read the first one first. He said, here's since 2016, if I could back, I would tell myself, listen to ignore the noise. First gut feeling was correct. I have saved a screenshot of my first Jax and Poloniex wallet portfolios as a reminder. Problem is that everyone here is now all trying to do the same thing.
Yes.
There used to be believers, dreamers, investors, and scammers, builders, traders. Now it's just the three of those, a group left, which I'm guessing scammers, builders, and traders, right? So,
I mean, I think there is a level of people that if they get a triple or a quadruple, they're done.
yeah,
They're done. Some people even a big double. Like,
yeah,
and that is a big problem, is because once you should be going up. You should, even if you don't go up in money, you should be having more coins as time progresses. That is the goal. That is the goal.
yeah,
Because the ultimate goal is to Michael Saylor, is to be able to leverage your crypto. I mean,
yeah,
there's new things popping up. Like there's a new mortgage company that will allow you to deposit into a contract and then they back your loan. So you could get the loan on your house, because that's a big problem with crypto people. Like, you
yeah.
don't have that W-2 income. And let me tell you, during DeFi summer, I set up an LLC and I was like, oh, I would just loop this money right through this LLC and pay myself a salary. But then you realize, like, everyone's always like, set up an LLC. Let me tell you, there's a lot of bullshit paperwork. Like, I had to fill state of Ohio compensation
Yeah.
workers comp reports, and the government websites are absolutely horrible. Like, you can't
Yeah,
even,
it's gotten a
like,
little better though.
you can't even figure it out. Like, and then if you're like, oh, I was supposed to do that report, like, and then you're like, oh yeah, there's fines and penalties, but I was gonna loop it through and then use. I mean, I had a virtual office, right? using iPost. I'll tell you everything I did. Virtual office, this is how people do it with iPostal, which a lot of YouTubers do that. iPostal allows you to have a phone number and a zip code and a mailing address. They scan your mail and shred your mail, so you never actually touch the mail, because your LLC has to have that forwarder. Well, then, like I said, you got to fill out all this stupid paperwork, and then you get double taxed. Now your LLC can technically, now like a lot of people are saying you should do S corp, but I'm just telling you that is a problem with crypto, is because you can't collateralize in the IRL, it makes it hard. Like if you're looking at $1 million house with the Frank Dodd Act, your W-2 income can't be over 45%. So that is part of the problem that happened from the banking crisis in 2008, was that Frank Dodd Act keeps people from, like, let's say you want to be house poor, not having furniture, and live modestly. They won't let you do that now because it can't be over 45% of your income. So, what are you going to do? Sell 2 Bitcoin for the down payment? Then you have to pay taxes on that? That's just idiotic. It'd be smarter to be able to deposit the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, whatever, into a smart contract. It's collateral. You get the loan. Like this BS of W-2 income, I'm like, on my taxes on short-term gain, I just put divs. Like divs. But now a lot of those where it's div based, it's horrible. You pay the maximum tax, because if it's paying out in stable, you're in stable coin farms, you still have to claim it as ordinary income and absolutely pay your tax. You don't want to go out like that, but you're paying short-term gains, the max rate. But products like that, that's the goal. That's what I will tell you the goal in crypto is to be able to leverage your Bitcoin. Do you think the people that own buildings on One Wall Street are ever going to sell the building? No, they're going to raise debt against it and buy their Ferraris. And here's the beautiful part about this. You don't pay any taxes on a loan. So if you can put that collateralized, and then boom, you can get your Ferrari or whatever you're going to get, be stupid. But back to the whole market, finding things that you can go in with size is hard now, because you can lose everything. You can lose
right
everything.
away. Too.
You can lose everything right away. And and I think that's where the challenge, and that's why I think people don't realize things like Peanut and stuff, those make sense to whales, because they'll wait. They don't even care if they get in at the bottom. They'll mid-curve it. They'll put 3 million in after it's been running, and then sell at 8 million. And they clip it out. They clip that liquidity out. And there's a reason, because they can go in with size. When you got 1 billion, 2 billion in volume, they can go in with size. Because that's the other problem. These protocols become illiquid, and then you can't get your money. Well, let's flip it around on you. What do you think about the market right now?
Man, I'm bullish. Super bullish. Going into the summer here, I think we're gonna have. From your experience, have we had a bullish summer? I mean, like you can say DeFi summer, but DeFi summer was August and a little bit of September, right? It really wasn't like the summertime, but like we really haven't had a bullish summer since 2020. Can you see us having a bullish summer? Oh, I think I lost him right on the question here. But yeah, man, until he pops back, it says they need to connect to. Not sure if you can hear me slow, but you popped out. But yeah, man. Superfan says, slow, I'm selling tax miners. Yeah, I'll actually get that to him when he gets in. The 14K top. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So let's kind of getting some Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura, Artura.finance. These guys are building something absolutely amazing. They're actually going to be on Hemi. Hemi is a Binance-backed Bitcoin L2, doing some really cool things with EVM. But you guys can actually use Artura.finance and actually potentially, I'm not 100% sure about this, I'm kind of just guessing, but normally what happens is you use something like Artura, one of the main dApps on Hemi, you potentially could get a Hemi airdrop on top of potential an Artura airdrop. I want you guys to go check that out. And I want you guys to, small money, small leverage, go farm that, guys. Definitely want to go farm everything they're building over there at Artura.finance. So definitely check that out. And let's kind of get into some Bitcoin price. We got my man back. Slow, you there?
Now it's a backwards Elgato signal. Well, this is like when your boss tells you to get the PowerPoint ready for the meeting, and you show up right on time. You should have got there early.
No worries, man. No worries.
And here's the thing. Jack 10, 12, and 14 is hitting the shelves this weekend. So I'm like, oh, can I run to the liquor store?
What is that?
Jack Daniel's 10-year, 12-year, and 14-year.
Okay.
The 14-year obviously is the coveted, but the 10 even is a $200 bottle secondary.
Dang.
So if you can get it for like $50, like it's a great bottle,
Yeah.
But no, I was trying to reset the camera is what I was doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Unsuccessful.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you think. So we're gonna do some Bitcoin price action here. Bitcoin sitting around 95,200. Look at this weekly candle has been absolutely insane here, absolutely crazy.
Really nice.
I want to get your opinion on this. I'm not sure how closely you follow the M2 money supply, but M2 money supply has been following Bitcoin now pretty closely. I mean, Bitcoin's been following M2 money supply, right? It's almost identical with like about a 77-day lag, right? So this is the M2 money supply just absolutely on a tear right now. Every country seems to be printing money besides the US. China is printing money to buy gold right now, but they are all printing money. And you're seeing Bitcoin here really follow and lag it. But now you're seeing Bitcoin kind of really push up here, kind of following this whole thing. If this thing is right, we're going to be at 160K. It's looking like by July, August. What do you think about this?
First of all, going back to your chart, your other chart.
Yeah.
That one looks scary because it looks like kind of a repeat of the double triple top that we already went through.
This one back here.
Yes, I'm saying that's the exact same scenario, but it happened at a lower volume. So yeah, that whole triple top. But I am super bullish, and again, I know it's frustrating because I've had a couple people asking me if they should sell their crypto to like buy real estate and stuff, just because things haven't moved like they wanted them to. But ultimately, it's Powell, man. It's Powell. We have to cut interest rates. Like the other countries are already doing it, and I know a lot of they don't want to disrupt the bond market, and that's exactly why they're not doing it. But they're going to have their hand forced.
Yeah.
When interest rates cut, we're all going to get paid. That's all I can say. Aggressively cut, like down 2%, like a freaking. I had people ask me, they're like, why didn't you get another Beamer? Dude, because of the interest rates, my same M3 was going to be $25,000 more on the lease than the previous one. And I was like, that is just stupid. I was like, I would rather keep my money in the market. That's like a whole Bitcoin. So that's why I sold my car back to the dealer I made 17 grand back. And I originally had like 42K in the car with ceramic coat and stuff. So I did a lease and I did a one pay. And, I tell people, don't do stupid stuff that you can't just walk away from, But anyways, back to that. Houses, our average house, 400,000. We're talking $2,500 and $3,000 a month payments. People can't afford Honda Accords for $500 a month. It is not uncommon people have $1,000 car payments.
Yeah,
it's insanity. That to me is stupidity. But especially with the houses, like if your house is less than 400,000, you're good. Your value's not going anywhere because there's so much competition for just having a house. Like, you know, I've seen crappy ones. But ultimately, I'm super bullish because they're gonna cut the rates. Either gonna get rid of Powell or something, or he's gonna have his hand forced. But I do think
Yeah.
at short term, those rate cuts could create some instabilities. Because if you listen to some of Arthur Hayes' thought leadership,
Yep.
he talks about like arbitrage of like the Japan currency, China currency, and America, of how like this teeter-totter effect, you know, of basically diluting the other people because we hold each other's debt. But I think the economy will go into a giga economy if we can get those rates cut. I'm not so worried about tariffs. I'm more worried about, okay, my Target, my stupid loofah at Target is $7 instead of $5. I mean, shit, I bought a grill cover yesterday. It was $100. I'm like, what the hell? $100 to cover my grill? I was like, I should have got the cheap one for 25 that lasts one season, and you know.
Yeah,
But
well, the problem with them is, do they last the whole season, right?
I mean,
Sometimes they close in on pretty
it's
quick.
true. It's true. The tariffs to the economy,
Yeah.
like I think it's bad for some businesses. Like Target, you go in, you pick up 10 items. That's all made in
Yeah.
China, and you know it goes up.
Well,
But
it's
here's the thing: it's almost like ETH fees back in DeFi summer. You're like, you tell a user of another chain, like, yeah, I just spent 300 on Uniswap to swap coins. They're like, $300, and then you're like, but I made 10,000.
yeah.
So it's just like, back when the GUI was just out of hand, I remember
Yeah.
setting balancer contracts up, proxy contracts on balancer to get in some of the pools. Shit would be like $800 for the
Yep.
fee at some points. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. But I think that, you know, that's kind of the pay to play is the
Yeah.
tariffs, like short-term pain, the interest rates, and I think this goes into the big money that's in the market, the invisible
Yeah.
hand. We need a positive macro for all this to work. Period.
Yeah.
Period. So I think 250 to 500K on this run is possible.
So you're gonna call me nuts.
250 on the low side, 500 on the high side.
I actually think it's 500 on the low side, 700 on the high side. I think we're gonna
That
hit 700,000 next
that
May.
is quite possible.
Yeah.
It's completely irrational how it can go up. You know, I posted this
I
on
mean,
X the other day. Like, I can't believe how many like 20 somethings I meet and they know nothing about crypto. I'm like, when we talk about retail, like,
Yeah.
it's funny to me, um, the businesses got in before the people did. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of, like, I'm surprised. I'm just like, I would have thought kids in their 20s would be like tech gurus. I didn't even have a
Well,
computer until I was in college. Like, I used to get tunnel vision because I'd sit in that lab surfing the internet. When I first started at school and I
Yeah.
had unlimited access to internet, the wife would work third shift on Fridays. I'd stay after school and just surf the internet. Dude, I would get tunnel vision. I was on there so long. Like, you know, that old joke of like, you done surfing? They're like, yep, I surfed everything. It's like, I remember back when eBay, I could sit and scroll all the pages of car audio. There'd be like
What?
8 pages of car audio before they went public and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Another fumble. But I should have bought eBay stock. And the funny thing is I was a user of the product and I saw the growth. The electronics page went from, you know, like 5 pages to 10
Yeah.
pages, 20 pages. Like, and then, you know, like eBay would have been a freaking kill stock. You know, that's right there with freaking Google. But
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
So yeah, I'm super bullish, man. I'm super bullish. It's
Do
just
you think we
I
can
don't
continue up this chart? Do you
I
think we can go straight up?
I do. I do. But could there be some lag before the bottom of that? Yeah. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, you could
I
see us go up, right? I mean, we go up to 108 and then come down to 100, back up to 116, and then maybe a trip up to 140 before a trip down to 130, and then up to 160. right? I mean, it's definitely possible. We can go up and down this whole ride up here. This would be a complete trader game. Traders would hop in the short and then
Yeah.
long and shorts. This could be, but this could bring back the excitement. This could bring back people saying, okay, Bitcoin's awesome, but I missed it. That's what we need, right? We need people to say, I missed it.
See, and that's
And
and
then into the other stuff.
I would and see, I agree with that. Like I was joking about how like those 20-year-olds like can be so out of touch,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what does they got to get their attention? 500,000? You
I
know,
think
is two
160 kind of
160?
it's going to open the door, man. I think this is going to last until July. People are going to be in the summer. They're going to be hanging out with their friends more, right? Because summer it's nice out. And then what happens? They're going to be talking about crypto because Bitcoin is just on this entire summer long boom. And they're going to say, okay, I missed Bitcoin, but what's the next one? And then you're going to hear things about Hex and Pulse Chain and Zen and Ordinals and Runes, and that's
Well,
when I think it'll start getting
keep in
crazy.
mind, Hex mooned during the bear.
I don't know. I
Pretty
think it
like
moved
when
in
it was
December
over, when
2020.
it got close to $1.
Oh, you mean at the end? Yeah.
Yes,
50 cents,
yes.
right? 49 cents or whatever it was.
49 cents,
Yeah.
dude. People on staking like back to complaining about, the whole concept of
Yeah.
moving everything to p-hex, and if someone was on staking 50 100 G, they don't care about the $400 Uniswap fee. They just like boom, like they can not give a crap. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that is a true statement.
Who
But
knows?
that was like
Maybe.
the end, right? I think that always happens. I mean, Hex is the back end of the risk curve, right? And the back end of the risk curve, I mean, that's when I was on Sonic, right? When Hex was booming, I was on Phantom at the time, and Phantom, I was Scream was $100. I got into like 2, and then
Oh
rode that
wow.
all the way back down to like $4, and finally got
Yeah.
out.
It's been a
Like
lot of
it
round,
was.
a lot of round
Oh,
trips, man.
yeah. But I think I learned my lesson though. I think I learned this
You
time.
know, a kind of, another. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, I talk about this. One of my favorite videos that I often share with people was I was driving around in my car, and there's actually, well, there's 2 videos, but one, it was about windfalls, and there's rules of windfalls. A windfall is just an unexpected good fortune. It doesn't necessarily be money. It could be a situation. It could be money. But I'm 52. I'm
Yeah.
an old dude at the club. Like windfalls have rules. Number one, they happen more than you think in your lifetime. Like if I start thinking back, oh yeah, I got to check for that. Oh yeah, I got that. Oh yeah. Now it could be years. It could be years. But it's kind of like how I say it, you wake up sometime and you get that airdrop. That's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
but that's number one, and that is windfalls occur more than, because I think a lot of times someone gets, like, let's say you get that airdrop or you flip that coin. That is an unusual circumstance. You have to step back and recognize that. But that is where I always tell you, spend 80-90% on needs and 10% on wants. I think when people get a windfall from a good trade or something, they immediately, like, that could be investing in yourself too, though, as a business.
Yeah.
That would be legit. You're growing your business. I mean, I think this is a great opportunity for you guys because you're so consistent rolling into the next bull, global, you know what I'm talking about, the Google stats where the
Yep.
interest goes up, and you're positioning yourself good because you're building when a lot of the streamers and stuff aren't on
I
there.
mean, dude, the viewers aren't here. I mean, we're at an
Yeah,
all-time low on viewership, right? I mean,
yeah,
we've never been really this low. And
yeah.
it's really just the market's kind of dictating that. So, I mean, I think that's a big telltale too when you see the viewers going up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, lunchtime is a good time too because people can be at the
Yeah.
gym, on the treadmill, this,
Yep.
that, listening in. But yeah, but definitely you get a windfall, do something productive with it. Like, like the very first thing I did in DeFi summer was paid everything off. Everything.
Yeah.
My current lifestyle. And like I'm telling you, that's the best thing that I could have ever done. Like it's not even about having fancy stuff and that. Now I do spend a lot on travel. you know, that's kind of one of our things, but we're paying cash for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I tell people, like, get out of debt, dude. Get out of debt. Like, I literally thought, you know, you raise a family and stuff, and you just, the credit cards creep up, and you'll never have it paid off. They'll be above my grave, like, he's got a gold ring on. You know, get his wallet. He didn't pay us. I mean, it's impossible. It's like those commercials. I was $44,000 in debt, and now I took a trip to Puerto Rico. I mean, you have a chance to reduce your liabilities.
Yeah.
Go for it. Now, the extreme trench thing for a 20-year-old, I don't know, dude. You know, live in a closet. You know, the Alex Becker concepts. I mean, I will tell people, enjoy life. You know, whether that is being with friends, family, and that. But you know, I just think it's that whole thing that a 20-year-old thinks they can retire by the time they're 25. I'm like, I mean, it's possible. Just like I might be getting in an NBA tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
right?
You got a jump shot down.
It's not gonna happen. Like,
so
it's not gonna happen.
One of our community members, super fan, he's actually building something called Big Noodle. It's really cool. He says, "Slow, I'm selling tax miners for 2025. These are Section 179 legal connect to the deep end. I'm building to get your 100K write-off starting in September." He's building this thing where it's kind of like you feed it compute, and you get rewarded in his token. It's really cool. He's building like this AI powered beast of a project. So I was shout out my man Superfan. He's here every day. He's one of our guys. So Big Noodle.
Post the link up on that.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. I'll send you his link for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Definitely
Johnny Usall says, check out Buxazoids and the crazy lore behind Bitcoin origins. Yeah, definitely. PJNZ says, we had a bill pay instead of PayPal back then. I still ooze the same eBay account since the late 90s. So he's on your eBay.
I have my OG account. Four letter. Yeah, 4 letter.
Pulse Chain Altcoin Talk says, how did they get MakerDAO on PDAI's side to stop minting? Do you know about that story?
I don't know. I heard.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is if this, I wouldn't even call it. You have to be careful using the word exploit. I mean, if that function had a problem as not intended, then the east side. Oh, it's because it was an earlier version of the maker contract. That's what it was that had the exploit in it. So those people could have gotten wrecked. That bug, I think that bug was in Maker, and obviously Richard forked an older version of it, and then someone figured it out, and then they just randomly mint. Like, I don't know if it's stopped. I mean, DGen Protocol is the person to follow that, or you know, Black Sheep Crew.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they're all on Impulse. They're all on Impulse. So, but they would know,
man.
Because I heard him like 2 days ago on X. Black Sheep was like, PDAI to $1. I didn't know if he was trolling. Like, I was like, you're trolling, right? I don't know if that's true, but and once again, could lose everything.
Yeah, no, 100%. So Bitcoin's monthly returns, we terrible. I mean, worst February and in March in a while. But 12% April. I mean, we're having all this tariffs talks. We're having, you know, it hasn't been good, right? But we got a 12% return in April. Do you think this continues? Can we see another green month in May?
I mean, I feel like I'm on Pancake Swap on the perpetual thing. I'm guessing if the price goes over down.
What are you doing?
Wait a minute. You can only use that if you have your VPN.
I actually.
On that note, if anyone ever needs a good VPN, check out Private Internet Access (PIA). They take crypto, which is cool.
Well, yeah, one of our affiliates is Nord. So.
Oh, is Nord? Is it?
Yeah,
I had Nord. I had Nord originally. Yeah. Now I have Nord. I have Norton too, though. But Norton? I don't know. You put a little stuff. The problem I have with VPNs is
Yeah.
I'm a power user on Google, and then it always gives me problems. Prove that you're real. Click on the motorcycles.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like,
I
you're a
know.
robot. Yeah.
You got
So
to do
that
that a lot with the VPN on. That's one thing that sucks.
and
Is you
then they
constantly
said
have
if you
to.
go to your Coinbase account with your VPN, you can get locked out.
I got locked out of my bank because I was
What?
in I was in Switzerland on Nord, and I got locked out of
Oh,
my
you're in
bank account. I
Switzerland.
actually had to call
Little
up.
yodel.
Yeah, they locked me out of the app.
Oh no, dude, it's so stupid. You know, I have a joke. It's funny because I originally bought some land here where I'm at, and then I ended
Yeah.
up selling it for a 2x. I'm doing better in IRL than I am in crypto. And um, I bought a condo, right? Just to get a little passive income coming in, which seems like a joke because it's like, dude, I was making 2,000 a day.
Yeah.
Now I make 1,500 a month, you know. Um, but they're what was that? Oh, shoot, what was I thinking with that?
Well, yeah, man.
Oh no. It had something to do with land. But
Yeah.
anyways, I'll think about it. On to the next thing.
Yeah, man. Where do you
My
want to
dog.
go next? Oh, I guess you actually kind of mentioned it a few minutes ago. We'll kind of get into this thing real quick. So Clonex, the NFTs once worth 1.2 million now show broken images after Cloudflare restrictions. Reminder, many NFTs rely on servers that are truly not decentralized. What do you think about this, man? They were showing this like black image. It was just some words on there, but people are paying millions of dollars for these things, and they basically are just not an NFT. They're just a link, right? You're paying millions of dollars for a link. They're not like how ordinals are. I wonder if you can speak
Right.
on that.
I mean, honestly, and again,
Yeah.
I think it's just news. Like, I think the normal degen doesn't care. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think now long-term collectors, like, I don't know. I guess I never got into ETH side of NFTs and the tribalism and stuff. I do know on Bitcoin, if you pulled that crap, people would be pretty pissed.
Well, you can't pull it
So,
on Bitcoin, right? Because you're inscribing
right,
actually into the blockchain. You don't
right,
got to pay no fee. If you have a collection on Bitcoin, it's there forever. You don't got to pay an AWS type of fee
right.
ever.
I mean, I can understand. I mean, I guess it goes back to the terms and conditions of
Yeah.
what's going on. But I mean, it a lot of whether or not people will be liable, and they might just turn the servers back on, you know.
Yeah. So the
So
next thing here is Adam Holander of CMO of OpenSea, the chief marketing officer. He said, I love ordinals. I personally hold many, including a sub 1K Shadow Hat, and I paid a tidy sum for it, plus a ton of other notable collections. So this is the CMO of OpenSea. Do you think OpenSea eventually adds ordinals to OpenSea?
I saw the buzz. It doesn't make sense that they
Yeah,
haven't.
I know. I
Um,
was really weird.
I mean, their securities definitely seems higher than Magic Eden's in the
Yeah,
sense, like, the transfer, sell, holds, and all kinds of other weird little idiosyncrasies. Um, I mean, it only makes sense. I don't know what they're waiting on. I mean,
yeah.
they put the Zen NFTs back in. Those were canceled. They canceled those on OpenSea. That's another problem with OpenSea, no financial products. That's
Yeah,
always been a
yeah,
big, like, back to this taxes and regulation of clarity
yeah,
is a lot of what we're trying to do with utility is
yeah,
actually make something that's fucking useful. But the problem is it's like supplements. If they really work, they're usually prescription, right?
yeah. For sure,
In the
for sure.
real world, if it really works, there's going to be laws around it, right?
Yeah,
There's going to be laws around it if you can make money. But I think that's a side of crypto that they don't talk is I think the DeFi products have been pushed to the edge of the legal framework. I mean, most of them are probably not really compliant anyways. They just
yeah.
don't care now. Um, it's pushed to the legal framework. But nothing's happening. There's no
Yeah.
clarity on, like, you need like smart people who can come up with some rules and laws, because like I had a car title. It took 6 weeks to get a title that they pulled out of some warehouse, and then they shipped it, and then like it was just the dumbest thing. Here's the thing: I owned the car and wanted to sell it. I'm like, I'm gonna sell it to the next person. I don't even have the title. Like,
Mm,
because I paid it off, and then
yeah.
I was like, oh, a title will be a day or two. And that's an example of like, like electronic. I wrote a paper on this, actually,
Yeah.
electronic health records. What if I could have an NFT that had my entire health history,
The
and it
problem
could
with
be
that is be on the blockchain. I can go read your
it
health
it it
shit,
could be
right?
on the blockchain. I show up at the hospital. You let people build around it, like iPhone, right?
Yeah.
You let the people build the apps. I could scan a QR code instantly. Because you go to the foot doctor, you go to the back
Yeah.
doctor, you go to this doctor, and you could have regulatory layers in it. You could mine data out of it, useful data,
Yeah.
like, and the problem now, here's the problem with an ideal utopian idea like that is, who owns, and the reality is it should be decentralized, like with validators, and the miners own it, because it's a lot of power. It's just like 23andMe going bankrupt, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we're going bankrupt, but yeah, we got all this data. The company's worth absolutely, like, I just got my dog's DNA done. Come to find out he's mountain cur and pit bull. I'm like, oh my god! I thought it was a Chihuahua. It looks like a kangaroo now. It's tripled in size. Um, but
Oh
that
man.
data is more important than the entire company, the buildings, everything.
Yeah.
Like, they have millions of records of people. Like, and the DNA stuff, like, it's crazy, because once you get universal databases, it does do some, like, I saw this show where they solved a crime multiple legs down on the family tree based on the DNA.
Yeah.
So someone in that family had did 23andMe, right? And they have API access to that data, and they figured out who the killer was. Like totally random, like 30 years later. Like, it's crazy. But that goes back to, crypto is
Yeah.
amazing because crypto is trust, and the world revolves around trust,
Well, it's
right?
don't trust verify, right? It's
Trust and verify. Yes,
verifiable proof.
exactly.
So
But I think I'm super bullish on crypto. Now,
yeah.
this whole thing of grinding it out to the end of time to try to make it, that's another thing. Like, if I retire, I would probably just I would try not to look at it. Like, I would try. But I really think the interesting side of crypto hasn't even gotten here yet.
Yeah.
And I think the reason it seems dead right now is because they've pushed the limits of DeFi. People know the games, and then now they're like, stablecoins. Like, okay, I'm gonna put $100,000 in this platform I've never heard of and mint some coin. Like, no, I'm not gonna lose all my money. So, like, you're not gonna get rich off 10, 20% interest, right? You're not
Yeah.
gonna get rich off 10 or 20% interest. So just get that out of your head. Um, I think crypto has pushed legal frameworks, and we're at that point where, if we could get regulatory clarity on some of these products, services, what could be tokenized? People aren't talking about that.
That's true.
Like, you know, um, I think we will see a unbelievable golden era of stuff. But
I
I
love
don't
it,
know. We'll
man.
see.
That's been absolutely awesome, Slower. I had it to the back end of this. I really appreciate you helping me out today, man. Absolutely awesome show. We got 193 people in here. Shout out to every single one of you guys. But I would love to give you stage one last time to talk to the people, tell them where to come find you, and maybe some last words.
Well, cryptoslow.com as always. Or you can find let's see, in Telegram, Crypto Slow Official, which I can post that up
Oh, you got
temporarily.
a 404 on your website, bro.
Oh yeah. I had to change packages.
Yeah.
My certificate went bad. Yeah, or just go to YouTube. I guess my final things I'm bullish on. I am bullish on AI.
Yeah.
And definitely believe you should be in the BitTensor system.
Yes. Yes.
Trading
We've been
subnets and
pushing
stuff,
that
that's a
content on
whole
that.
different discussion, because now BitTensor basically has if you don't know what BitTensor is, one of the biggest decentralized AI projects out there. I think I might have an older video on it, and but it's a great project, great
Yeah.
community, great tools, and you can earn like 16 to 18% interest just being staked in the root, which is what I'm doing. I got
Yeah.
into the subnets initially and got crushed.
I know. I did
Yeah, I
too.
lost like 10 tau. I was like, no. I was like, I think I need to learn a little more about this because like the numbers just kept going down.
Yeah. I'm
But
actually
when
up now. I stayed in
are
them,
you? Oh,
and
you're in the
eventually it came back up, but
uh,
not yeah. So I put point two into
yeah.
every single subnet. Point two
I
down
I
into every subnet.
I tried. That was a pain in the ass. There was 60 because that site's glitchy.
It was like
Um,
68 when I did it, like 68 different subnets. Now there's
yeah. I did
100,
it in the
bro.
50s. So I did it
Yeah.
early. I was gone traveling when the dang subnets launched.
Oh yeah.
Basically,
The
in a
first week was not
nutshell,
a good idea.
Tau went from 700 to like 180. When Tau's going down, you're likely to make money in the subnets going up.
Yeah.
But when Tau's going up, it makes it more challenging to make money on the
Yeah.
subnets. And then a second random, I have three. Second
Yeah.
random project, Bitcoin Derby. There's a law in it right now, so the floor prices are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Um, I know there's a legendary out there right now that they had
We're
listed.
actually partnered with them in a way. So Foxy, one of our
Really?
partners, is actually merging with Bitcoin Derby. It's going to be Bitcoin Derby is going to be so Foxy's going to be like you know Magic over on Arbitrum. How Magic is like the
Oh yeah.
the top, and then you have all
Yeah.
these projects building underneath Magic. That's kind of how Foxy is going to be, and Bitcoin Derby is going to be one of the projects underneath the Foxy
It
umbrella.
I've listened to them in some of the spaces, and
Iguana
smart people. What's that?
was the guy's name. Iguana from Bitcoin Derby.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, but the horses are gonna have Twitter accounts, and like this could be an
they're
interesting
going to be
project.
AI, bro.
It's
He was
gonna
telling us
be
that
AI too.
Tuesday.
Well, and the tracks are AI, so that they
Yeah,
can't be gamed, and depending on how smart your horse is. Now, this is a pretty big project to pull off.
yeah.
So it's not it's moving along. They just revealed the traits, but like I said, you can get a legendary right now for 990. Yesterday it was still there because I was lowballing him for
Yeah.
500. He wasn't biting. Well, no, it was 1200, and then I put in a bid for 600, and then
Yeah.
he lowered it to 900. So what do? I'm like Pawn Stars. I lower my bid to 400. So but anyways, it should be an interesting project. Kind of
Yeah.
the other horse game got huge. They were actually at the Derby one year.
Zed Run?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
I was in Zed Run. I played in that a little bit.
yeah, and they were at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Like literally, they had her
Matt
thing.
says I own Insidious in Bitcoin Derby. Coglagius, old horse. Hope he prints Steph gonna breed. Yeah,
Gonna breed. So he's got a legendary. So yeah.
yeah,
So I think there was 48 legendaries, and then they cut the mint. So there's
yeah,
still some that can be born. But you need to have a stable, you need a 3-star, a 2-star, and a 1-star. One of
yeah,
each, which that's not even that much right now. But no guarantees. It's just something fun and interesting to get in. And then of course the final is talking about alkanes.
yeah.
Um, so there's been a whole bunch of minting on alkanes. The primary tokens, hot ones, are diesel
Diesel,
and methane.
methane,
Yeah,
Doge.
and Doge. Diesel, there's going to be an airdrop. How much is diesel today?
Diesel's around 21 million.
No. per coin.
Market cap?
To the left, isn't it?
$45 per coin.
Yeah, not bad. It hit 70 a little bit
Did it?
ago. But this is an interesting. Diesel is the first smart contract alkane. So if you don't know what alkanes are, alkanes is basically putting a virtual machine inside of the Bitcoin transaction. So you're encapsulating a smart contract into a layer 1, not a bridge,
Yeah.
a UTXO. So, but the Diesel has bots. Like each block, people put bids in to get Diesel. Diesel's being mined like Bitcoin, and then but people have set up bots to take all the Diesel. So,
Yeah.
of course, again, as we stated, people will go out of their way to screw everything up, and so that the bots bid it up, right? Like, I mean, like I almost like I should like learn more Python and like how to build a bot. Like this, like these people.
Well, you can have ChatGPT do it for you now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just have
It'll actually walk you through step by step on how to do
work
it.
it through it step by step. So, but anyways, they did a pre-mine on this, and if you own an Airhead, any size, you're earning XP. If you own Ordinals, you can earn XP. So if you don't have an OWL wallet, OYL, get an OWL wallet, move your
Is it owl or oil?
Oil. You're right, oil.
Oil.
An oil wallet, move your ordinals there. You'll get XP for having ordinals or runes or whatever crap in your wallet. And then that XP will be turned into some kind of airdrop. Now, originally Arthur Hayes came out because he's funding a lot of this, that there's going to be a filled with air airdrop too, which was originally a rune, but they're probably rethinking that now. I wouldn't doubt it if the filled with air will be an alkane. I'm sure it will be. It's not going to be.
Well, no, I mean, it could be a bridge, right? You can bridge your alkanes to runes potentially. So I mean, you can use it that way.
Casey's at work trying to brew something up again to revive runes again.
Do you think so? I don't even know.
No,
if
he is.
Honestly.
He was doing something. Yeah, he was coding. I heard there was some kind of update, but yeah. So BitTensor Tau staking, make 18%. Trade subnets if you're geeky. Bitcoin Derby. We have some law in between phases. It's a complicated project. Get yourself a horse or two just for fun, and then get some an oil wallet, a Chrome extension, and put some ordinals in there and earn some XP. You're gonna get ranked, and you'll possibly get something. So yeah. Sorry, man. There's so much to talk about. You can tell I haven't made a video in a while.
You should come back, bro. Get back on the wagon. I'd watch. I'd be a watcher.
I'm working on it, man.
What about Zen and Titan X? Would you tell anyone to get in those?
No. No. I'm kidding. I think I mean, there's Titan X. It's a lobby.
Yeah.
It's a lobby. People get in and out of lobbies. I think the outs, like when they were launching those sub protocols, people were getting paid. Like I made a nice knot on Volt. Like I only got in one or two of the. Now I did screw up on the Dragon or whatever. Originally, I swapped like $10,000 into Dragon, and I held it for like a week, of course. And like anything that's non-blue chip, it's hard for me to hold. Like if it's BNB, ETH, Bitcoin, no problem. Like Solana, I got like a little bag of Solana over there. I'm just like, I don't even like looking at it. But I think Titan X, it's fragmented liquidity, and really it was ultimately about concentration. So, but fairly, I haven't followed it. I had a bag max staked for 5 billion days, and it's just sitting there. So, like I max stake like a bag. But those when it originally came out, I set up the staggered mints. I made great money, but you have to know when to stop putting in the kitty.
That's the problem.
That's Titan X. Now, as far as Zen goes, yes, it's irresponsible in my opinion if you're not if you don't have at least 100 billion Zen. That's
What
like
was that
nothing.
run? You said $15. You said.
It's 3 million, $15.
Okay.
So that's 30. Wait a minute. Maybe 100 billion is a lot. Like
Okay.
that's a lot. I mean,
So
let's.
if I put, if let's say I put a $1,000 in Zen,
That's
are
33.
you
That's
are you
33.
thinking that next year I will be
That's
very happy
500
with that
bucks.
buy?
That's 500 bucks. 100
Yeah.
billion for 500. So 10 billion is 50 bucks. Come on now. Yeah, come on. I mean, if you want to moonbag it, right?
Yeah.
Like if Zen's going to $1, how many coins have you heard that are going to $1?
That's true.
So, but anyways, $15. And let's say you mint today, it's 475 days. That puts you smack dab in the bear market.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because people look for stuff during the bear market. Me personally, until I see very big green candles, I'm not doing anything with it. But I'm still minting. So
Yeah.
now as far as those mints go, ETH gas has popped up a little bit. Just put them
Yeah.
out there at 0.401, because people go for the round numbers. So you're better. You're gonna get prioritized to add that extra tick. But yeah, I'm bullish on Zen. Titan X, I just haven't followed it lately, so I don't know
Yeah.
if all the protocols have crashed.
So Kai says Pulse Chain easy to find yield farms. How do I do the same thing on Stacks? Only found Velar and Bitflow, and they're just looking for degen farming. Have you participated in Stacks at all?
I had a bag and
Yeah.
it doubled and I sold it. I put like 5G in, I sold a 10G. Like
Yeah, man.
Once again,
Yeah.
great product. But fragmented. Look, once I established that people are moving from product to product on this Bitcoin stuff, I was just like, I got wise to like, I'm just like, unless you're in, it's like virtuals. So many
Yeah.
people lost so much money. Like virtuals is like 35 cents the other day or something. I mean,
And
if
now
you
it's
got in,
80, right?
if you got in at $5, you got
Yeah.
freaking destroyed.
Yeah.
Like absolutely destroyed. Like I got in around $3, messed around with a few agents. Most of them are already mooned, and that was about the time that Francis came on and was doing the
Oh
sniping and
yeah.
stuff. And he was good at it. I'm just like, I don't have time to sit and trade. Like I don't want to do that. Like it does not interest me. I want to build something. I want to, that's just not my stick. Like I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, all right, Slow man. Really appreciate it. Love to do it again sometime. Whenever you're down, I mean, you can pop on with me and Yago B. We can
Yeah,
go
I'll
at it
try to
for a
get
while.
my
But
my Otelega,
man,
whatever
thank you
that is.
again, dude.
Yep.
And
Take it
I'll
easy,
talk to you
man.
soon. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. All right, guys. We haven't got into comments yet, so let's kind of dig into the comments, get into that roll call here. Let's check it out. Check it out here. So first is first on this show, as you guys know. So let's kind of dig into that. Let's bring up the Google Docs. But first is first. Who got it today? Got Webtro. Got it. Shout out to Webtro, my guy. Let's see how many you have on the year now. I know you're not in first place no more. But you're right there. So Webdro, add you in there. And then we will, you got 15 there. I'm going to show my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You got 15 there. On April 16th was your last win. Yep. So you got win number 16. Congratulations to you, my friend. Absolutely awesome. We will see what happens next week. Looking forward to seeing what happens this week. It was Webdro, Sheedy. Mr. Sheedy got his first win this week. Danny Boy, ASAP Benji, and then Danny Boy again on Monday. Absolutely awesome. Let's kind of dig into who's here. We got Lackey Lukey. He's here. Shout out to Lackey Lukey. Mats is here today. Malam Yuri was here today. One plus at. He said, I need the ultimate on-chain portfolio. Yeah, man. I hope we gave you guys some some plays there. I know Crypto Slow is going at it, my guy. 1 equals X is here. Moon Yacht Club, shout out to Moon Yacht Club. Merlin's Lucky is here. Shout out to Merlin's Lucky. Rare Sat Ordinals was here. Shout out to you, my friend. Danny Boy again. ASAP Benji again, my guys. Chips and Dip was here. Hoo Hoo Cat was here. Crypto Winner was here. I hope I'm like you one day. Quantum Cat, he said, are you bullish on Quantum Cats? Yeah, they're really expensive. Yeah, I'm bullish Quantum Cats. Definitely bullish Quantum Cats. Spin Drift is here. He says, what are your thoughts on Pulse Chain? I'm bullish on Pulse Chain. I'm bullish on Richard Hart. I'm bullish on that community. That community is a bunch of beasts, man. And if you got a great community, you can definitely do something special. Bitcoin is Truth says Bitcoin price prediction for next year. You guys know me. 700K next year. That'll be the top. Nabob is here. Nabob. Mempool Punk is here. Chief Axel is here. Super fan. Then we got Cheedy. Shout out to my guy Cheedy is here. Mark said it's Friday and Bitcoin didn't crash. Bull market vibes. Hell yeah, Mark. Hell yeah. Steamy J is here. Future Forward is here. Teddy Bear is here. We got a lot of people in here today. Pulse Chain Altcoin is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Future Forward. Then we got Aaron Cardiacs is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Let's see. Johnny Utah is here. Shout out to Johnny Utah. Super fan again. FOO is here. Shout out to FOO. Then we have, let's see, the big Granat is here. Has any project ever been derugged? Good question, super fan. I'm curious the answer. Then we have Kai is here as well. Shout out to every single one of you guys who made roll call today. Really appreciate you guys hanging with us. Great. It's a different type of show today. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. Probably going to switch the format of OnChain Revolution a little bit. Kind of go more into the less macro. I'm tired of macro. I don't know you guys. Let me know in chat if you guys are tired of macro. I'm personally tired of it. I think we're going to go less macro and more kind of digging in the projects. I think it's time to really start to look into what is going on. Maybe we'll highlight a couple projects each day and kind of take a look at what they are building. But shout out to every single one of you guys who made the roll call today. And let me make sure I got everything that we needed to get through. Roll call, OnChain news. Yep, basically everything. Saves a couple of these things for Monday. But shout out to every single one of you guys. And if you guys have some time and wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we got Emblem Vault, guys. If you guys know who Emblem Vault is by now. They are building a lot. They're building Agent Hustle. They're building the jump feature to take your ordinals anywhere else, right? They're going to be the one-stop shop bridge for all your bridging needs. If you want to bridge to Bitcoin, bridge away from Bitcoin, Emblem Vault will help you, and then potentially have it all done through their AI, which is hustle.ai. Shout out to you guys, or Hustle AI. I think that's what it is. Let me actually get the website. I'm actually having a brain fart today. Tired, guys. This week has been a long one. I got my man Yago. It's agenthustle.ai. Definitely check out that. And we got betbtc.win. These guys are building something special, predictions market using ICP's backend. This is going to be an absolutely amazing game changer because you guys are going to get an airdrop just for using the chain, just for using it. Just go there, hook your wallet up. You immediately get 50 points. That'll get you enough to get the airdrop. You want to do some trades or some predictions, that'll actually get you more and more points. Check everything out there at betbtc.win. And then Artora, we were talking about them earlier. Definitely go to Artora.finance. Their mainnet is launching potentially next month. Really looking forward to that. You're going to get the Hemi airdrop. You get the Artora airdrop. It's going to be free money, guys. Definitely use Artora.finance. Fluid token, it is officially Fluid Friday. Let's kind of dig into what Fluid is building here. So Fluid, these guys are absolutely killing it. If you go there right now, you guys can actually take a look. Jump in the Fluid Friday here. Omen 2 season. So this is kind of their newest thing. You're able to stake your OMNI, and you will get. I think you're staking the ordinal, or you're staking the coin. I think you're staking. Yeah, I'm not really 100%. But come here, guys. You can stake there. But remember, if you do have your pass staked, you're definitely going to claim your rewards. They're going to add liquidity to a deck soon. That's what they were talking about today. It's going to be absolutely huge, guys. They will be adding liquidity for the FLDT token, something I've been waiting for, because that's going to allow me to kind of do my thing with arbitraging the token and kind of seeing what is going on. If it's cheaper on Cardano, buy it over there, sell it on Bitcoin. If it's cheaper on Bitcoin, buy it on Bitcoin, sell it on Cardano. Keeping the same amount of FLDT, but actually just getting free money. Definitely going to be doing that, guys. I highly recommend you guys do it too. Dog, that, you know, obviously you got 31 more days left to claim your dog. I'm getting a 20% APY on this. Definitely very happy with that. Jumping over to let's jump over to the Cardano, because we don't really cover the Cardano much, but I think we have to. These guys, if you guys are interested in Cardano DeFi, you know, Cardano could be one of the bigger chains this coming season. So you definitely want to check that out. They got staking. Check out the staking part of it, which is really cool. You can stake your FLDT. And you can see here it's kind of like bottlenecked, 8%, 9%. Yeah, check that out, guys. And then the earn, you guys can earn on top of that. Check this out. So reward one, 130,000 ADA. Damn, that's a lot of money. But yeah, check all this out soon. And you got to remember Aquarium. Aquarium is going to be cool because it's going to be validators that actually validate the bridging. You're going to be able to bridge back and forth to Bitcoin. And that's why Cardano is going to be such a big deal, because you got Bitcoin OS building a bridge. You have Fluid building Aquarium. Really bullish on everything Fluid right now. So check out everything here at fluidtokens.com. Yeah, guys, get on board. Get on board with this one for sure. And then check out Foxy AI, and Ordinal Hive. It's our integrated partners. They're both building something really special. Foxy's kind of building the gameverse, right? They're going to have a whole bunch of games underneath them. And then Ordinal Hive is bringing you guys the fastest Bitcoin chain or Bitcoin trading that you can possibly do with sniping and all that stuff. And they're going to be integrating on different sites and stuff to be that aggregator. So definitely looking forward to what Ordinal Hive is bringing to the table. And then Merlin Chain, huge news yesterday. Jeff is now one of the co-signers for the Bitcoin wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. That's WBTC, guys. That is the #1 wrapped Bitcoin. Definitely check that out, guys. That's gonna be massive for Merlin, because now Merlin is looking like a trusted entity for wrapped Bitcoin. Merlin's gonna explode. It's 10 cents right now. I think this thing is going to absolutely explode. I'm a holder since day one. I really appreciate, you know, I mean, you guys understand the building. You got to appreciate the builders. Jeff has been building and building, upgrading his chain. When it gets bullish, Merlin is going to be one of the winners. I truly believe that. And check out everything there at merlinchain.io. And also, they're building the wizard, right? The wizard's going to allow you to, you're not going to do anything. You go to the wizard, talk to the wizard, let the wizard do everything for you. He's going to be able to handle everything, all your needs right there on Merlin Chain, merlinchain.io. And guys, if you have some time, you wouldn't mind checking out our website. That's OnChainRevolution.io. We have some of the best articles, guys. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, check out our NordVPN. I have used pretty much all the VPNs out there, and I always end up coming back to Nord. Nord is the #1 VPN. You guys can get it for $3 a month right now, about $36 for the year. Definitely want to get on that, guys, because that is going to be, you know, you don't want to be surfing the web and actually, you know, giving your IP address to these companies. You just don't want to do it. I know you guys get the text sometimes. It's like, are you signing in from me? And it's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Like, oh crap, I don't have my VPN on. I don't like that. I don't like people knowing where I'm at, and especially when it's websites that I do not trust. So definitely check that out. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but do not wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. As we get into May, these tickets are going to go from, you know, expensive to not worth it at all. Definitely check that out there. And remember, the festival pass will get you the second 2 days. The industry pass gets you all 3. I highly recommend the industry pass if you can afford it. And then check out our store. We have some of the best merch in all the crypto, not just ordinals. Just check everything out here. Our Shopify hats, jackets, and so much more. Check it all out here at the third-party Shopify. Click our store tab and OnChainRevolution.io, and that'll take you everything. And guys, crazy week. No Yago B. I hope I did good enough for you guys, but next week, my man will be back. He's going to be back and better than ever. Hopefully he has some you know, kind of gets really going again, really gets that momentum back. Gets ready, man, because a bullish Yagobi and a bullish Shizzy just means a great episode of OnChain Revolution. Appreciate you guys, and until Monday, peace.
OnChain, 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 OnChain. OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and arching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.